The Stade Abdoulaye Wade rises as one for their stars as Senegal look to book their place at the 2026 World Cup. The starting lineup starting with the Lions of Teranga. Paptio makes only one change to the 11 who were big winners in their last game, a 5-0 victory against South Sudan, and it's Pap Gay who comes into the midfield looking to help out Idrissa Gana Gay. Attacking trio composed of Ismail Assar, Nicholas Jackson, Sadio Mane, a very dangerous trio for the Senegalese, who will be looking to bring speed and ferocity to the forwards line. Mauritania team looking to do something pretty special here. Whether or not they're going to be able to do so remains very much to be seen. Koulibaly, the captain for the Senegalese side, goes through the pre-match requisites with Ali Abeid, the captain of Mauritania. Now the starting 11 for Mauritania. Abderrahman Sa is in goal. Abi Abeid will play left back, the skipper. A couple of changes in the team with the introduction of Bakary Kamara. Nouel Abd as well will partner Lamine Ba in the centre-back position. Papa Yad should be in one of the advanced positions. Aboubakary Koita is one of the dangers for this Mauritanian side. Mauritania looking to spoil the party here. Senegal approaching this game with a real sense of determination. Kalidou Koulibaly looking to lead his country to a third consecutive World Cup. Senegal get the ball rolling, knowing that 3 points will guarantee their place at the World Cup in America in about 6 months' time. A simple formality is the belief that many onlookers have, but Mauritania, who are unbeaten in their last 3 World Cup qualifiers, looking to make things as awkward as possible here for Senegal. A Senegalese team who will be keeping a close eye on proceedings between the DR Congo and between Sudan, the other match in this group, as the DR Congo look for a win themselves that will guarantee their place at the very least in the 4 best runners-up during this qualifying campaign. It's an early ball forwards here and it might break. Gay. And there's the strike, cleared off the line. Iliman Ndiaye close to the opening goal after basically just a minute of play. A first rush by Ismail Assar down the middle. And immediately the cries of the Stade Abdoulaye Wade. It's the kind of game many expected. Pape over the top it goes, but this time lacking the accuracy. So much quality in this Senegalese team, from back to front really, starting with Mory Dior, goalkeeper for Le Havre, who's started the season very, very well, Mory Dior. That quality goes through the team. A lot of players who play at the highest level for their clubs. A lot of players here who are featuring in the English Premier League and the Bundesliga. Nicholas Jackson and Sadio Mane looking to combine at the top of the pitch there for the Lions of Teranga. Diouf. Gay with a little bit of a loose ball, which Nicholas Jackson couldn't quite take under his control. Gay. Referee happy to allow play on. It goes all the way back to Mory Dior. Moussa Niakhaté and collect here. Senegal happy to push a number of players high up the pitch. Koulibaly. Jackson in behind. More than a couple of passes together at the moment. Senegal starting far better. Ndiaye fouled. That'll be a free kick. Pape. Niakhaté. Ismaïla Sarr. Koulibaly looking to switch play and does so well. Ismaïla Sarr given offside here. Mauritania getting their defensive alignment right. Big test, it has to be said, by Aritz Lopez-Garay. Look at the teams he's coached, Aritz Lopez-Garay, to be able to take charge of a team like Mauritania. Certainly a big opportunity for someone who spent most of his playing career in the Spanish second division or lower. Only finished playing at the end of the 2016-2017 campaign, Aritz Lopez-Garay. After taking charge of Nouadhibou, Mauritanian professional football club based in the commercial centre of Nouadhibou, second largest city in Mauritania. He was then promoted to the Mauritania under-20s coach before being given the top job. And there has been improvement for this Mauritania team overall as they look to come forwards here. Query, he was brought down. Simple free kick for the referee to award. Mr. Moussa is from Niger. So a chance here for Mauritania to try and trouble Senegal. Moussine interested in this one, the Mauritania number 8, as is Aboubakary Koita. It is Koita, it takes a deflection and it bounces just wide of Moridio's goal. And the one concern you would have for Pape Thiaw and for Senegal is that they don't want the pressure to really get to them. Mauritania stay in the game for as long as possible, and the DR Congo start scoring goals, and that's when there might be a little bit of nervy moments for Senegal. Drops here, Le Query back in the middle. Lamin Ba was lurking. Ali Abaid, the captain, races back. Mauritania by no means a team on the African continent that's in the worst ranked teams in terms of FIFA rankings in the world. They're ranked 110 and gaining a couple of ranking placements, but it's opened up here for Senegal. Diouf, can he get the right cross? Good defending by Mauritania. And something that has been evident from a Mauritanian point of view is that Aditz Garay has tried to bring a little bit of a Spanish flavour to the way Mauritania keep the ball, the way they look to play in possession. It'll be difficult against Senegal, whom you would imagine are going to dominate possession of the ball. But it is something, once again, that could prove frustrating for Pape Thiaw's players if they fail to break down Mauritania early on in the match. Switch of play. Controlled beautifully by Crépin Diatta. Pape Gueye, the only player who didn't start the previous game against South Sudan. Coming in for Pape Matar Sarr. Le Query. Khalidou Koulibaly watchful. Diatta is very, very quick. Crépin Diatta. Pape Gueye losing out there. Opportunity perhaps for a counter-attack. That's good football by Le Query. Here's Koita. Mauritania all of a sudden seeing a little bit more of the ball. Jackson tries to win it back, but turning into trouble, but does well. And Sadio Mane, who's seen very little of the ball so far. Sadio Mane. Now, one of the big problems for Mauritania throughout this qualifying campaign is the fact that they haven't really been able to score goals. Only 4 in their first 9 matches. They've conceded 9, so they don't concede many either. But that is certainly the area where you would expect Mauritania will want to improve when they qualify or attempt to qualify for their next major tournament, which will be the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Struck in at the far post, headed towards goal and wide, but it's Mauritania who have had the better chances at the start of the game here. Iliman Ndiaye's early shot for Senegal is the exception. But after a slow start, it's the visitors who are causing more problems. Header there by Lamine Ba, which he couldn't quite steer on target. Referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge. Sadio Mane, who's on the ground, and Sadio Mane's akin to royalty here in Senegal. Anytime he touches the ball, anytime he'll hit the deck, you will hear a reaction from the crowd inside the Stade Abdoulaye Wade. This time it is a free kick in favour of Iliman Ndiaye. Ali Abeid given a warning by the referee. Sadio Mane asked for some clarifications. Seemed to be definite contact there. As there was there. Koulibaly. Ndiaye. Ismail Assar, Mane goes down, referee says it was the ball, and Sadio Mane is going to be booked for diving. Well, this is the first real big talking point in this game, because there's a lunge there by Mohamed, or Demin Salek rather. Paptio asking his players to move backwards, but first yellow card of the game given for diving to one of Africa's biggest stars. The referee was perfectly positioned, and having looked at that a couple of times, it looks like he's made a very brave. Koulibaly. Mane shoved in the back, and this time it's going to be a yellow card shown to Ali Abeid. He was given a warning by the referee a little bit earlier on, and this is a yellow card that could be much more consequential for Mauritania than Mane's was for Senegal. As if you're on a yellow card and you need to mark Sadio Mane, good luck to you. What's for certain is that there's an interesting free kick for Senegal here. So Diatta and Diouf, both fullbacks, standing over the ball. It's Crépin Diatta, and it's a header by Niakate, which is a long way off target. Moussa Niakate, possibly one of the players who's the least well known in the starting 11, alongside Moridio. Plays his football for Olympique Lyon in the French Ligue 1. Lyon, who have enjoyed a very good start to life in Ligue 1 this season. Paris Saint-Germain, as they so often do, have built an early league in the French top division. Lyon currently find themselves 4th, a point behind PSG. Looked like the ball crossed the line, it had. Senegal struggling at the moment to find their passing patterns. There's more feeling that their individual quality is one that possibly could break the deadlock rather than playing particularly good and aggressive football at the moment. Mauritania really organised and making it very difficult for Senegal to play through the middle. So down the flanks, and Ismaïla Sarr could be helpful. Ismaïla Sarr's reaction says that he thought he was clearly onside. It's twice. He's been in a very promising position and given offside, Ismaïla Sarr. Abderrahmane Sarr trying to take a little bit too much time. He's been given a pretty stern warning by the referee there not to waste time. Ismaïla Sarr caught in possession. Le Query, Diouf wins it back cleanly. It's a thrilling game a couple of weeks ago between, or rather at the end of September, between Senegal and DR Congo. Lions of Teranga able to win it away from home 3-2, having come from behind in that game and coming from 2 goals down to win 3-2 gave a real big morale boost to a Senegalese side who, ahead of that match, had actually been behind DR Congo in the group, so it was an important victory. And just to illustrate how dominant Senegal have been throughout this qualifying campaign, they've only conceded 3 goals. 2 of those were against DR Congo in that match. They haven't lost a single game, like Egypt, like Morocco, and like Ivory Coast. Many of the top teams in the groups are teams that haven't been beaten, Tunisia as well. But it is still an elite few, mostly the African giants, of which Senegal are of course a part of. It might open up for them here. Damien Salek cutting that one out and doing well. But Diatta could be a real thorn in the back of this Mauritania defence. He's a winger by trade, Diatta. He's going to take charge of this corner though. Plenty of size, of course, for Senegal. Pape Gueye, Kalidou Koulibaly, Moussa Niakate. In comes the corner. Towards Mane. Mauritania have lost it. Another cross. Cleared away. Koulibaly, the intended target. One of the members of staff of Mauritania throwing the ball back on the pitch, stopping Dieu from taking the throw in quickly. Sometimes you can understand it when players in the heat. Good ball. Sadio Mane, who has turned. Diatta. Stopped by Ngom. Apart from the fact that Mauritania don't necessarily want to be steamrolled by Senegal neighbours, Mauritania to the north of Senegal, much bigger country in terms of its size. Big portion of Mauritania dominated by the Sahara Desert. Miscued pass, counter-attack is on. Le Kouiri, Yad. Diatta just shields the ball with apparent ease. The Monaco player. Garnegay. Past the midway point in this first half, and it is still goalless between Senegal and Mauritania. Nicholas Jackson, Sadio Mane, Ismaïla Sarr struggling to get themselves in the game. Iliman Ndiaye is the Senegalese player we've possibly seen the most, but apart from his very early strike inside the first minute, not really been able to create too much. Senegal. We are going to have the first cooling break of the match in this first half, as Sadio Mane no doubt asked for further clarifications as to why he was shown a yellow card. Very humble, respectful person, Sadio Mane. Lucky enough to have a conversation with him when Senegal won the Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. Shared a hotel with Sadio Mane. So Mauritania will be quite happy with the way things are going at the moment. They've not really afforded Senegal too many chances, and arguably have had excellent chances themselves. This is the only one really that could have led to something. Iliman Ndiaye's strike. Looks to side-foot it instead of putting his foot through it. Had it not been for the clearance of Mohamed El Abd, it possibly would have been a goal inside 60 seconds for Senegal, who nearly conceded one themselves, as that free kick took a big deflection. A couple more highlights from this first half. Seems to be the right moment to tell you that it is also goalless between DR Congo and Sudan so far. So play resumes here with about 18 minutes left to play, plus added time in this first half. Mane. Koulibaly. And Ndiaye. A reminder that if Senegal match DR Congo's result this evening, then the Lions of Teranga will be guaranteed a place at next summer's World Cup. Koulibaly looking for Ismail Assar. It drops here to Sadio Mane. Good block. Good defending by Mauritania. You can just tell that Mane wants to really up the tempo a little bit. Try and be a bit more expansive. And Ndiaye. Stopped twice there, Iliman Ndiaye. Good tackle by Moussine. Nicholas Jackson nearly winning it back, but Yad has been able to collect it here. He skipped away from two Senegalese players and he's still going. Not seen much of the ball over the last 5-10 minutes, Mauritania, but they did well when they had it then. Yad. No major appeals for a free kick. Senegal back in possession. Idrissa Gana Gueye. Diouf. Maybe a free kick there. A little bit lucky perhaps, Diouf, that the referee decided to award the free kick. Well, perhaps a little bit of a twist in the tail here in Group B. The Democratic Republic of Congo have broken the deadlock against Sudan and now lead 1-0. Diouf's cross. Yad, first to it. Trying to take everybody on, but Koulibaly is quick. He's very quick for a man his size. Kalidou Koulibaly. Ismail Assar. Diouf. And Ndiaye waits. It's well defended again by Ali Abeid, and it's a free kick that's been given here against Iliman Ndiaye. Now, as things stand, that 1-0 win, or rather that 1-0 scoreline for the DRC doesn't change too much for Senegal, because thanks to Senegal's far superior goal difference, it means that the Democratic Republic of Congo would have to score 6 more goals to draw level with the Lions of Teranga on goal difference. But when we're talking about anxiousness, you can see the live standings at the moment. DR Congo plus minus is the goal difference, and Iliman Ndiaye is through. Ndiaye has Sarr at the back post. Cross never reached him. But were Mauritania to score and take the lead, then Senegal would provisionally be heading into the continental playoffs. They would not qualify automatically for the World Cup. Instead, it would be the Democratic Republic of Congo to beat them to top spot in the group. Koita has players alongside him. Koita. It's good football. Yad. It's been lost. Jackson working hard to win it. Gana Gueye. A little bit of skill from him. And Ndiaye now. Ismail Assar. Jackson. Diouf arrives. He's really got good speed, Beat Lequeri. He's causing problems to the Senegalese defence, who are able to get back in their shape. Ali Abid. Now Lamine Ba. El Abd. Good first time pass. Good football this by Mauritania. Yad. It's played straight out there. You can see Aritz Lopez Garay down the sideline gesticulating, gesturing that he wants his team to keep holding on to possession, keep dominating the ball, keep passing it when they have the opportunity to do so, because when they do, they pass it well, Mauritania. It's certainly a very encouraging first 35 minutes for the Lions of Chinguetti. We said it, ahead of kickoff. The scoreline, when these two meet, tends to be very close. Senegal have won the last two meetings by a 1-0 scoreline. Mauritania, the only time they beat Senegal was 1-0. Ghana Gay. Now the strike by Pap Gay. Again, good football. El Abd. Yad. That's a good ball, and Koulibaly needed to reach it. It is, however, going to be a corner for Mauritania. Koita. Good looking corner. Headed away again by the head of Koulibaly. Ali Abeid drills it in, gets a little bit lucky. Caught in possession there by Ghana Gay. Mane. Jackson. Ismail Assar. Koita. Good work by Pap Gay. Mane. Going to get the free kick there. Back in possession here, the Senegalese superstar. Now Diouf. Pap Gay Teasing ball, but a little bit too far ahead, a little bit too high for Ismaila Sarr to reach. Caught, however, by Abderrahman Sarr, the Mauritania goalkeeper. Koulibaly is having a good game so far, and Senegal need him to have a good game, because you do feel that the Mauritania attackers are up for this one. Playing with confidence when they do have the ball, particularly Koita, Lekoueri and Yad. This is Mane. Referee again sees nothing wrong with the challenge on Sadio Mane. And that's a good challenge. Well, again, it looks like he goes down slightly easily there, Mane. Not enough in that to warrant a free kick or possibly even a penalty. It was very close, right on the edge of the box. Koulibaly appeals, and he's told to get back in position. Free kick for Senegal. Saw a couple of the lasers there being pointed by members of the crowd on the face of the referee. This is a stadium that can have a really boisterous atmosphere, none more so perhaps than the inaugural game that was held here, that return match in the playoff between Senegal and Egypt back in March of 2022. Stade Abdoulaye Wade, which drew on inspiration from many stadiums around the world. The delegation and the engineers who were responsible for building it visited some top stadiums in America and in Europe in particularly. They were impressed by the new Tottenham Hotspur grounds, which has been called by many of football's pundits as one of the best modern stadiums currently around. Stade de France, Wembley also looked at. Niakate defended that well. Mane, lovely turn. Now Jackson. This is where Senegal can really hurt Mauritania if they can move the ball quickly. And Ndiaye. Sarr, flag stays down this time. Mane gets the cross in, and Ndiaye had the power, but not the accuracy this time. And it stays goalless for now. And as soon as Sadio Mane starts to see more of the ball, no surprise that Senegal start to look more threatening. El Abd. Papke's won it. Ismaila Sarr back to Jackson, back to Ismaila Sarr. What a save that is. Mane, shot blocked. Jackson, Iliman Ndiaye. Gay, dispossessed right on the edge of the box. It's handball. Koita unluckily controlling it with his hand. Long distance effort by Diouf, punch clear. And all of a sudden, it heats up a notch here. Mane, Diouf. Asking a lot of Sadio Mane there with the ball, isn't going to go out of play. So Alab's going to have to deal with it, and he doesn't. It's a corner. Let's have a look at Abderrahman Sarr's save here to deny Ismaila Sarr. It's lovely football, and it's a fantastic stop. I think Ismaila Sarr was offside, you know. It looked like Jackson played him in when he'd just gone past the last defender. Diatta to take the corner. Plenty of height on there, and it's not steered on target by Nyakate. And Ndiaye. Good football. Again, Iliman Ndiaye. Cross stopped there. Koulibaly keen to get things moving. Pape Gueye brings in Diouf. Mane back on his favoured left wing. Cross comes in, headed away by Ba. That's a free kick given. Not far away, close enough for Sadio Mane or someone else to have a crack. There'll be just the 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half. So, in all probability, this is going to be the last kick of the first half. Can't see anyone taking this off Sadio Mane. We saw Diouf chance his luck from range earlier on. Diatta is there as well. Mane. Oh, Mane! Time and time and time again, Senegal's record goal scorer comes up with a piece of magic for his country. And with the last kick of the first half, Senegal take the lead. And Senegal, more than ever, are heading to the World Cup in North America in 6 months' time. It curled and curled away from Abderrahman Sarr. Maybe it takes a little touch on its way over. Just out of reach for the Mauritania goalkeeper, who moments ago had been heroic when denying Ismaila Sarr. But there is no denying this man here, Sadio Mane. It's his 4th goal of this World Cup qualifying campaign, but it is also by far the most important goal. Mauritania now, who have got one of the worst attacks in the group, up against one of the very best defences, the very best defence of the group, and one of the best defences in Africa. They're going to have a big job on their hands in the second half. Sadio Mane, who was warming up towards the end of the first half, found that extra piece of magic right when he needed to. Senegal lead after 45 minutes against Mauritania, thanks to their talisman. And as things stand, the Lions of Teranga are heading to the World Cup in North America come June. And Senegal after 45 minutes, and thanks to another moment of magic from Sadio Mane, currently heading towards the next World Cup in North America in summer of 2026. Mane with the Mauritania would work to do unless they want to head home empty-handed from this West African derby between the Lions of Chinguetti and the Lions of Teranga. It is the Lions of Teranga, thanks to Sadio Mane, who head into the second half with the lead. Mane with a moment of brilliance from a free kick, with virtually the last kick of the first half. Mauritania, however, with good value in the first 45 minutes. They created dangerous opportunities and they frustrated Senegal. Senegal, however, able to rely on their individualities. Group B against Sudan, a win will guarantee Senegal, no matter what, qualification, automatic qualification to the next FIFA World Cup. Whereas DR Congo will be heading towards the continental playoffs as one of the best four runners-up. That's a free kick given in favour of Iliman Ndiaye. Senegal looking to qualify for their third consecutive World Cup, having reached the World Showpiece in Russia and then in Qatar. They reached the last 16 in Qatar, qualifying for the World Cup in Russia brought 16 years of wait to an end for the Lions of Teranga, but it shows a lot that Senegal are looking to become a real mainstay on the world stage. If you look at the FIFA rankings, only Morocco are higher than them in terms of the countries from Africa. Senegal 18th in the global rankings. If you compare it to, for example, some of the real mainstays of world football, such as Italy, who haven't featured for the last two World Cups, then you realise just how big of a football country Senegal are becoming. These are the group standings, live group standings. Senegal on 24 points at the moment. They are ending this World Cup qualifying campaign on a high, and this is a good save again, but it's not kept out. And guess who? It's him. It's number 10. It's the superstar. It's Sadio Mane, carried on the shoulders of his teammates, and you can understand why. Sadio Mane famously said that he would trade in his Champions League winners' medal with Liverpool for an Africa Cup of Nations winners' medal with his country, with Senegal. He's won that Africa Cup of Nations, and he's heading towards the World Cup yet again, Sadio Mane. A brace for him, 5 during the World Cup qualifying campaign for the Al Nassr forward. This one made by some excellent football. Crépin Diatta, Mauritania's defence flat-footed, and this time Abderrahmane Sarr cannot keep out Mane. Couple of deflections make it difficult, but he's in the right place at the right time. And that is the mark of great players. See, trying to make life difficult for Niakate. Koulibaly helps him out. Well, Senegal had to wait for virtually the last kick of the first half to break the deadlock, but they've doubled up just 3 minutes after the restart to give themselves a much more comfortable and enjoyable second half ahead. Jackson stopped by Lamine Ba. Senegal have only conceded 3 goals, so it makes it even more difficult for Mauritania. Mane puts into perspective just how good the Lions of Teranga have been. There was a late challenge moments ago on Ghana Gay, and there's a little bit of frustration creeping in now. It is a local derby. Ghana Gate having a word there with Boda Moussine, who was the player who came in on him late. Sarr rolls it out to Mohamed Al Abd. Goes long. Koita given offside. You look at the other teams who have had as good defences, or perhaps even better defences than Senegal during this World Cup qualifying campaign, and remarkably, a number of teams haven't conceded a single goal. Tunisia, who wrapped up the qualifying campaign with 9 wins, 1 draw, 22 scored, none conceded. Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast at the moment, 24 goals scored, none conceded. And Morocco, who are playing as we speak in their last game of this World Cup qualifying campaign against Congo. Only 2 goals conceded. Iliman Ndiaye, a couple of step overs, drops to Diatta. Diatta. Mane. Offside. The hope for CAF President Patrice Motsepe is that with more African countries featuring at the upcoming World Cup, there'll be a bigger potential for growth and exposure for African football, which desperately needs to have that exposure. One of the reasons why the Africa Cup of Nations is held every 2 years rather than the European Championships, for example, who are held every 4. That's a loose pass, but it is going to reach El Abd. It is niggly out there, and a couple of challenges and collisions which have been a little bit needless. Sanyekate trying to fire up the Senegalese fans in the corner. In fairness to Senegal, they've at times been provoked and have kept calm, kept their composure, not been interested in getting involved in anything that could result in a suspension or a red card or anything like that. It's been a very professional display from Paktio's players. Mane. Papke now trying to bulldoze his way through, but teammates didn't anticipate the ball being played to him. He's won it back though. Given away. Koita. Sliding tackle, which doesn't result in a free kick. Instead, it results in a possible counter-attack for Senegal. Garneke. Ndiaye. Mane returns the ball to the Everton man. He was looking for Mane, connected with the hands of the Al Nassr forward. Mauritania. Kalidou Koulibaly, too strong, too powerful. Mane threads it through to Nicholas Jackson, who's given offside. Paptio, since taking charge of Senegal in December 2024, right after An impressive game against England. A match at the City Ground in Nottingham. But in competitive matches, he's been faultless. Looks to me like Lamine Ba saying that he's going to be okay to continue. I think it's actually Boda Musin. But he is going to make way, Boda Musin. Replaced by Sidi Bouna Amar. Gom. Bakary Kamara. Risky there by Sarr, who eventually is going to pick it up. Looked to me like it was Ghana Gay who come up and tried to press him. It's a good ball, Koita. A little bit behind Amar. Another chance, Koita, edge of the box, tees himself, deflection. And the decision is a corner, or rather a goal kick. Looks to me like the referee's just changed his mind and given Mauritania the corner. Lamine Ba asking why he doesn't give the penalty, and the explanation was that the hand was close to the body. In comes the ball. Good pass, Koita. Tried to do a bit too much. Pat Gay, who's been an absolute rock in that midfield. Once again, too good. Koita running into Niakatir. Senegal remain really composed, not letting anything get to them at the moment. Ndiaye, Jackson and Ndiaye, and Ndiaye, can he finish? He can! Individual brilliance from Iliman Ndiaye. One to savour for him, one to savour for the adoring Senegalese. Form in this international break. He picks it up there, Iliman Ndiaye, inside, outside, but hasn't got the speed to stay with him, and then it's all about his composure, and he has some. That'll be one that he will remember for the rest of his life. And gone. Starting to look like a heavy defeat for Mauritania, who went toe-to-toe with Senegal for almost the entirety of the first half before that late lapse cost them. Senegal started to find an extra gear at the end of the first half, and eventually they were able to get their goal. Change here as Nicholas Jackson is going to make way for Pape Matar Sarr. Not too many opportunities for the Bayern Munich man to score in this game, but neat and tidy in possession of the ball, and always a hard worker for the team. So Pape Matar Sarr, the Tottenham Hotspur midfielder, comes on ahead of this game. He was Senegal's top scorer during this World Cup qualifying campaign with 4 goals. Sadio Mane's moved above him now to 5. It goes to show just how impressive he's been in a Senegal jersey over the last 2 years. Can Mauritania find a goal in this game? Lines of Chinguetti not feeling particularly fierce this evening in Senegal, but it was always a tough ask for Aritz Lopez-Garay's players to come here and disrupt the second best team in Africa, if we're going by the FIFA rankings. Ball across, which is cleared away there by Nyakate. He and Koulibaly have had a good game defensively, and he's had a good game in attack when he has had the ball. Le Couéry. So chance here from the free kick. Koita again. We are going to have the second half cooling break now. Mauritania almost broke the deadlock in the first half with a Koita free kick, which was deflected and which bounced agonizingly wide for them. There's going to be a triple change in just a few moments for the Lions of Chinguetti. All smiles for Iliman Ndiaye. Sadio Mane's second of the evening just eased any nerves that may have remained despite Senegal having the lead and being in a very comfortable position. So the triple change for Mauritania. Ngom, Koita and Lamine Ba make way. Replaced by Amar Haidara, Mohamed Said and Ibrahima Keita. One back and the first touch of the ball there for Said. Allowed to turn. And a free kick given as well against Crépin Diatta. Senegal keeping the ball away from Mauritania, showing their superiority and their dominance. Sadio Mane still on the pitch, hunting for his hat-trick. Haidara, Said, with Mauritania substitutes, trying to get involved. Worked hard to keep it in play. I'd be surprised to know whether Yad, who came off at half-time, was injured, or whether it was a tactical decision from Maurits Lopez-Garay to take off the Sheriff Tiraspol attacker, because he was having a good game, causing problems with his speed and his strength. And C hasn't had the same effect on the game, the same ability to cause problems to Senegal. Diatta, able to keep that one in play. Iliman Ndiaye makes way after possibly scoring his best international goal yet. A sublime solo run for the Everton man, for Senegal's third, one that he will be able to remember. So Sabali on for Ndiaye. Sadio Mane also makes way. He's the one who settled the nerves here with that wonderful free kick. Habib Diallo comes on. And Pape Gueye, who has had a wonderful performance in midfield, also is substituted. Introduction of Mendy. Ali Abeid. Jamin Salek. C, caught there by Mendy, that'll be a free kick. Minutes we go. Sadio Mane's brace and Iliman Ndiaye's wonderful solo goal, giving Senegal a comfortable and very professional 3-0 lead at the moment. In the other crunch game in Group E, DR Congo still beating Sudan 1-0. Header there by Mauritania, should have done better. Mohamed Al Abd being singled out by the camera operator. Senegal will be keen to end the game with a clean sheet, confirm what has been another excellent performance for them. Sabali. Diatta. Ali Abi defends well, but Diatta lost his footing there, but he's been strong, he's been lively, he's caused so many problems to Mauritania, both in defence and in attack. It's given away straight to Diouf. Referee saw that as a fair challenge. That'll be a free kick given against Diatta, emphasising the point of how tenacious he's been in this game. Headed at the far post, and the results. In Senegal's history, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, he'll be immensely pleased with this result, immensely pleased that his country are heading towards the World Cup. Football truly is one of those uniting forces in the world, and even more so in Africa, where the pride and passion for one's country, the fierce way the supporters come and cheer on their countries, something truly to behold. Said. Five minutes left to play. And the ball has been pinched by Ismail Assar, who's picked out Habib Diallo. The route is complete. This game, which ahead of kickoff seemed nothing more than a formality, has proved to be just that for Senegal. Habib Diallo with a wonderful goal, another one. Ismail Assar with an excellent ball through. Be overwhelmed by the Senegalese talent. Ali Abid. What's been impressive from Senegal this evening is their ability to really switch stances, switch gears when they've needed to, and they've accelerated. They've been difficult to play against, but they've also shown great possession, great composure. Their attitude has been spotless as well. Referee saw that as a fair challenge, but not that one. Three minutes of added time here at the Stade Abdoulaye Wade. And then it'll be party time in Dakar. Finishing the game at walking pace here, Senegal. No need to stretch their talent in these late exchanges with a Mauritania team that played valiantly in the first half but faded in the second. Sabali onside. Will go down as a shot on target, but nothing to trouble Abderrahman Sarr. Moridior probably feels he hasn't touched the ball enough in this second half, just cannons it into the stands. He's out of position now. It's all over at the Abdoulaye Wade. Senegal have qualified for their third consecutive World Cup, and the Lions of Teranga are heading towards North America. Too good, too powerful, too disciplined for Mauritania this evening, Senegal. Sadio Mane, as ever, the talisman who unlocked the situation. Iliman Ndiaye added a wonderful third, and then Habib Diallo capped it off with a goal off the bench. Senegal's president able to celebrate the victory alongside the entire Senegalese population. An excellent performance, and one that will give the Lions of Teranga real hope in North America. The final score from the Abdoulaye Wade: Senegal 4, Mauritania 0. Senegal top of Group B, and Senegal qualified for the next World Cup.